Good morning everyone, hope you're well, bright and early. Well, it's early, it's very early, it's still pitch black out that window there, but I wanted to get this video done prior to departing for work. I did a cup of tea with Gonzo last night, of course, and as soon as we finished pretty much, the Quick Sport, the French media outlet, reported that Ajax were in advanced talks to sign Sebastian Haller for €25 million. Well, that was unexpected. He's been linked to a lot of clubs, Sebastian, mainly German clubs, but no one was linking him to the Dutch Giants, nobody. So for this to come out was a bit of a surprise, if you want, and the fact that they were suggesting it was quite far on. The Ajax were trying to get this done on the hush-hush, on the down low. They were trying to get him in very quickly, which would be similar to how we got him, didn't we? We were sort of found out we were after Sebastian Haller, and then 2 or 3 days later, he was in a third kit video has been announced as a West Ham player. We got done very quick too. So it's interesting, and there's a few things to this. A, do we believe the rumour? B, I guess the finances of the deal, and C, what does that mean for West Ham United? So we'll deal with A first, the rumour itself. So like I said, €25 million has been reported, £22.5 million. And what's interesting isn't so much that rumour. Sky Carver, who we know has links to people at West Ham United, he denies it, but I don't believe him. I think he does speak to the owners at West Ham, and why wouldn't he? When you work for Sky Sports News, you want to get reliable news. Who better to go to than David Sullivan? But anyway, he put something out about an hour or so afterwards, saying that there was no fee agreed. There was no fee agreed. Calm down. It's not nowhere near done or anything like that. There's no fee agreed yet, because they're only offering £22.5 million, which is half of what West Ham paid. What's interesting though, it's not what he said, it's what he didn't say. And what he didn't say was the rumour is total rubbish or anything like that, which would suggest there is some form of interest from Ajax. There's possibly some form of communication between West Ham United and Ajax. There might have even been a formal bid. He just said that a fee hadn't been agreed, which is interesting, really. So it makes me believe that there is something in this. Okay, I do believe there's something in this. I think most rumours I do dismiss, and I happily say that, but this one, I think there's something to it. Because the other person in play here, while Mark Overmars is heavily involved as director of football over at Ajax and stuff, it's not him, it's Erik ten Hag, the Ajax manager, who I would really like at West Ham one day, but we'll leave that for now. Erik ten Hag was the manager of Utrecht when Sebastian Haller was there. When Haller was younger, he went from Auxerre to Utrecht, then to Frankfurt, and the manager at Utrecht was Erik ten Hag, the now Ajax manager, which adds another little bit of integrity to the rumour, if you like. And I think he would suit the way Ajax play, actually, because while it's not worked out for him at West Ham United, I do think the way Ajax play football, I think he would succeed there. Clearly the manager knows him as well and knows how to get the best out of him, hence his move to Frankfurt and stuff. I think it would be a good move, to be honest with you, for all parties. It would be a good move for Sebastian, for Ajax. I actually think it would be a good move for West Ham United as well. It's a bit of a failure of a transfer, we have to say that, because I remember when we signed him, I'm not going to lie, I was extremely excited. I haven't been so excited for a transfer in quite a while, before or since signing Sebastian Haller, because I believe that he was one of Europe's top strikers when we signed him, and thoroughly enjoyed watching Frankfurt play the season prior with him, Rebic, Jovic. I thought they were Kostic on the left wing as well. I thought they were fantastic to watch, a delight to watch, and to get like essentially 1/3 of the attack, and the guy who had, the most assists out of the three of them and a decent goal tally as well. I thought, here we go, this is what we're after. Because I always felt that's what we were lacking since moving to London Stadium. Someone to score 20 goals a season for us. And I, hand on heart, believed that was going to be the guy. And do you know something? I still think he could be the guy. Not at West Ham, but I think he's got the ability. He's 26. I've got no doubt that he goes to another club like Ajax, he will score 15 goals a season. I wouldn't be surprised if he outscores any of our players from when he moves to Ajax. Between then and the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if he outscores anyone at West Ham United, because he has got talent. It's just not worked out for him at West Ham, and that's okay. It's just one of them things. He's not, Pellegrini didn't really play to his strengths. While we saw glimpses of his ability, we didn't see enough. We saw it in games rather than in... You don't want to see a player turn up for 90 minutes and not the next 90 minutes. You want a bit of form. You want them to turn up for 5 or 6 games. You can have 2 or 3 quiet ones and turn up for the next 5 or 6. You want to see consistency. You want to see form. We never really got that with Haller. You'd have a good game, a bad game, a bad game, a good game. And it's not... enough. You needed a bit more consistency in there. Now, I don't think Pellegrini got the best out of him. He was obviously the manager that brought him to West Ham. And then I don't think Moyes has got the best out of him either. But Haller's not innocent in this. I don't think he's done enough, particularly under David Moyes. I don't think he's done enough to try and adapt to fit the manager's way of playing. And we needed to see a little bit more from him in some games, and we've not seen that. So I've got a little bit of sympathy for all parties involved, West Ham, Sebastian Haller, and the managers. I have a bit of sympathy for everyone. And it's just one of these where I think Sullivan done the right thing. Actually, I mean, we can talk about the finances now, I guess. £22.5 million is exactly what we have. Half of what we paid for him. We paid 45 million, but the difference is with Sebastian Haller's deal was we paid it all in cash over 18 months. Normally when you buy a player over 4 years, you tend to pay the fee over 4 years. If you sign a player on a 4-year contract, sorry. So you're buying a player for 10 million over a 4-year contract, you might give the club 2.5 million a year. Simple as that. And that's how we sell players as well. It works both ways. But Frankfurt had us over a barrel. We had all that chaos going on with Maxi Gomez. It was quite clear we weren't getting him, as he preferred Valencia. So there's a little bit of pressure on Sullivan to make sure he got the next man on the list, which was Sebastian Haller. And Frankfurt knew that Sebastian was sort of in demand. He was hot property. Knew we were desperate. 45 million, we want it in cash. We want a large bit of money and want to put much half of it up front, kind of thing. And that's why we had to make sure we got a good deal for Marko Natovic when he went to China. We got 20 million or whatever, and we had to get it all up front so we could give it to Frankfurt, essentially. Strange deal, not strange deal, an unusual deal perhaps financially, but it means that we've effectively gone and paid £22.5 million to have Sebastian Haller for 18 months. It's an 18-month loan spell, and it's cost us £22.5 million. So it's an expensive deal for the club. And for Sullivan, it's an expensive mistake, and I don't think he'll be rushing into something like that again anytime soon, which is unfortunate for David Moyes. He's the one that's going to suffer off the back of this. While it wasn't him that was here when he brought him in, I think it's him that's going to feel the repercussions of it in the transfer market. But I do think Sullivan done the right thing at the time. I think he had to go get Sebastian Haller, and like I said at the time, I thought we were buying one of Europeans' top strikers, so I was delighted when we signed him. I thought we'd done good to get him in, and I thought 45 million at the time was a fair price, to be honest with you. I got that wrong, I don't mind admitting it, but I still think there's a top striker in Sebastian Haller. What this means for West Ham moving forward, well, if it's true, of course, I just hope that I can see why we're getting rid of him, first of all, because his value's depreciating. We saw the Felipe Anderson thing where, what's his value now? 10 million probably? He's not getting a game at Porto. That's a disaster. But with Sebastian Haller, his value's obviously come down a lot, and it's probably only going to get less and less between now and the end of the season, should he not score, not play, whatever. So I can see why we're cashing in on him. It gives Moyes a little bit of flexibility in this transfer window. Allows him to bring in one, maybe two players. It's a decent amount of money at the end of the day. I just hope we have targets. We cannot go a period with just one striker of Michail Antonio. We can't do that. He's not even 100% fit yet. So if Haller's going, we better have a replacement lined up already. I've got a feeling we do, and I've got a feeling it's someone from Bournemouth, which it's a bit deflating, really, to go from someone that was, like, personally held in high regard in football to someone who's Josh King. But if he suits the system more, I guess he's more effective. It'd be more cost effective. But I just want to see a bit of ambition for us here. I want to see us sign someone that maybe surprises us. The Sebastian Haller deal surprised us that summer, I think. It came out of the blue. West Ham went Haller, oh, hello, and then he was there. It was like, oh, geez, that was quick, wasn't it? I want to see a bit of that again. I want to see us going after someone who's got potential, who's a bit younger, got the ability. Who that is, I don't know. Listen, would I love Ivan Toney from Brentford? Yes, I would, but I don't think it's going to be him. Would I love to see us take a bit of a gamble on someone like Adam Armstrong? Yes. I'm just not convinced. I've got a feeling it's going to be someone like Josh King. It's going to be a bit, that's not as good as we were hoping, is it? But regardless of who it is, I just hope we've got someone lined up. Moyes cannot be allowed to play, to be honest with you, a Premier League game without another striker here. We cannot play with just Michail Antonio and his dodgy hamstrings as our only striker. And that's my worry with this. That's my worry, that we'd be taking the money, without really having a plan going forward. But anyway, there you go. That's the rumour. Sebastian Haller to Ajax, 25 million euros. It's not done yet. There's a long way to go by the sounds of it. But I do think there's something in it. Anyway, I'll be back tonight. There's lots of videos coming. I'll be back tonight with a transfer rumour show where I'll be looking at every other transfer, an update on Sebastian Haller perhaps, but also all other players being linked with, and 1 or 2 players that are departing West Ham as well. Drop a like on it if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new around here. Leave your thoughts on this transfer. I'll be reading the comments later today, so put your thoughts in the comments below about your thought Sebastian Haller being linked to Ajax for 25 million euros. Look after yourself, be good, and I'll catch you in a bit.